Hi, my name is Noah, and I am here to talk to you about genocide. In 1943, Raphael Lemkin coined the term genocide. Now, what is genocide? As Jack Schwartz put it, genocide is an attempt to exterminate a people, not to alter their behavior. More specifically, genocide is an attempt to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group. I researched quite a bit about genocide and found it quite disturbing. My first source was Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. This fictional story is about a young boy who essentially wipes out an alien species through a series of games. They wanted Ender to save the human race from the buggers, an alien species they had been at war with. Throughout the story, the teachers are lying and cheating, isolating him from friends and manipulating him to do things he doesn't want to. In the end, Ender thinks he is only playing a game, when he is actually wiping out a whole different species. Card reveals how innocence is lost and genocide can happen through ignorance. The hero decides to spend the rest of his life cleaning the mess he didn't realize he was making. Ender spoke the stories of the dead. The next source I read was The Rwandan Genocide, written by Gale Student Resources and Context. The main participants were two ethnic groups, the Hutus and the Tutsis. The Hutus were greater in number, while the Tutsis were more favored by the Belgian colonists and therefore got benefited greatly. The Tutsis got bigger education as well as more economic privileges, while the Hutus became unprivileged and were definitely agitated. The violence leading to the genocide, surprisingly, started with the killing of the Hutus people who did not agree with the killing of the Tutsis. Next, Hutus people called Interahamwe and Hutus citizens, they banded together and participated in the killing of about 800,000 to 1 million Tutsi people. From Hutus people's Tutsi spouses to members of the nation's political opposition party. One of the most appalling things that happened, in my opinion, was first, the United Nations had gotten a warning 3 months before the president of Rwanda's assassination. Next, United States diplomats were not allowed to describe this as a genocide and refused to take counteractions against the Interahamwe. Thirdly, they later claimed that they were not fully aware of what was going on, despite all the evidence on the contrary. And finally, only one country made a significant effort, and that was France. They set up safe places for the Tutsis, while everyone else sat around watching the Tutsis being left to the clearly merciless Hutus people. So, genocide includes about 5 different aspects. 1. Murdering its members. 2. Causing serious mental and bodily harm. 3. Purposefully inflicting conditions of life calculated to bring physical destruction. 4. Trying to stop birth within the group. And 5. Transferring children from one group to another. I have a couple of examples of genocides you might not know about. The Japanese Imperial Army marches into Nanking, China, and kills about 300,000 Chinese civilians and soldiers. The Soviet Union caused a famine on the Ukrainians. The Soviet Union inflicted a famine on the Ukrainians after they rebelled against the system of land management known as collectivization. This seizes privately owned farmlands and puts people to work in cooperative enterprises. There were an estimated 6 to 10 million deaths. Pol Pot attempted to turn Cambodia into a communist peasant farming society, resulting in the death of up to 2 million people from starvation, forced labor, and executions. The Iraqi government attacked civilians who were in prohibited areas. The attack included the use of mustard gas and nerve agents. This genocide resulted in the death of an estimated 100,000 Iraqi Kurds. At this point, I sincerely hope you are wondering how this issue can be solved. And that's where you come in. Because the best thing we can all do is raise awareness. Sound the alarm. We need to make sure that we aren't just sipping our hot cocoa while a whole nation is being destroyed. Thank you for watching.